Hello, and good evening, my dear friends of the Doyman channel. And welcome back to rather an unexpected evening from my end. In the real world, stuff is happening. Bad and good, as we all know. But the main concern for this video, the topic, is the State of the Union Address. I haven't seen the full thing of it, but I've seen the thumbnails. And for me, I don't really get into politics because I don't care about them. And I never, well, I'm trying to think what's next to say. Even though I haven't really gotten into politics, like researching, seeing which side I really was on. All they would vote for was Republicans. But regardless, back to the main thing, the State of the Union address. There are some words that our president has said to, of course, to a couple people in the area. For those of you that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And I've seen, of course, them myself. And again, I haven't seen the full video, but I'm seeing a part of it. In my opinion, that, well, there might be a couple parts that I might cover. But there's the one main thing that I want to cover. And y'all will see it right now.
That is a shame. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
So before we continue, of course, you know, we all know that drug lords, murderers, we all know that. However, every single time that I'm hearing just those words, drug lords, murderers, all that, it reminds me of a thing. A thing that most people may or may not remember. And I'll get that in a second. And I'll say this for another part of the video of this. He did mention that 56% of fentanyl has been just blocked off in a matter of a year, as he said, which is nice. But the main reason why I'm very much focused on that quote, as our President Trump said, he's only targeting one race. And one race only, as I know so far. Now, I could be wrong. There could be other races. No. Other races, yes, like illegal immigrants, illegal immigrants, you know. But we all know that they're mostly, or almost all of them, are from Mexico. Down below. Below. And of course, you know, it is fair. They did a little fentanyl, cocaine, you know, and all that jazz. And I'll say this also right now. If I ever get to, of course, be seen on this video by multiple people on the internet, which I undoubtedly will, even though, you know, I'm a small channel, I want my voice to be heard. So that people can understand that it's not just the Mexicans being murderers, drug lords, or criminals. It's all races. We know that. And yet, for some reason, our president is targeting one race for every bad thing that happened. Now, it is fair. It happened all across the country. Most crimes, are without doubt, would have been those type of race, which is the Mexicans. And understandable. And it's totally fair. Illegal immigrants, ICE getting rid of them for one purpose, getting illegal immigrants out of our country if they're not American born citizen, all that jazz. However, as you guys know, ICE has been doing some bad crap. Some bad crap, as we all know. And it's not good. Even though I haven't really paid attention or got updates on ICE, I have seen some specific ones. One of them, which is of course the murder of the woman in um, Tennessee or Pennsylvania, I think. It's one of those two. well, it's somewhere there. But it was the woman that was in the car that avoided, as I saw in the video, little proof, avoiding the ICE agent. Whenever JD Vance said that she was trying to hit one of the ICE agents. But as it clearly saw in the video, and for those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know the video, I will not cover that video today because I I can only sorry. I'm going to assume, even though I could be wrong, that all of you guys seen the video of what happened on that day. It was like month ago too. She drove away from the agent, not trying to run him over, just trying to avoid. But alas, that's for another time. But alas, back to the main topic. What I don't like about our president is again targeting one race for every bad thing. And we have to understand, it's not just the Mexicans that do bad stuff. All races do. That's the one thing that I don't like about a president. Yes, he's getting rid of a problem that's been going on for years. And that is fair. But he has to understand that he cannot stop the crime. He cannot stop the murders. He cannot stop the... He can't even stop drug lords. You know why? Because people have a choice. That's the one thing that people cannot control. It's choices, choices, choices. People cannot control the choices of what the individual wants to do. If he or she, want to do drugs, if they want to do fentanyl, if they want to do bad stuff, that's on them. But it's not on us to control that, even though we can try to stop it. All we can do is stop it, not control it. Because even though we have done well on this, thing, there's just some things about President Trump that he's making mistakes about. Probably just one, which is again, targeting one race for bad things. Thinking that all illegal immigrants are bad people. No, they're not. For example, children. Children being deported from their families from ICE just because of their race is not acceptable. Even though it's fair, yes, it's because of the immigrants, they're not American born citizen. But if the family was there for years, and ICE didn't do anything about them until now, like months prior, they should have been on that. Even though they could have been, which is totally fair. But another thing is, not every single individual is a bad person. Even though they have attempts to become one with a mind, thinking about the choices in life, an individual has the choice. And just because of a race does not determine they're bad. It determines the actions they do, what they do in life, and what they are striving to do, and what they do for the world. And if they just choose to murder, bad person. Unless they are willing to just, you know, regret that. because they realize a mistake. Or, of course, all the way around, they don't care and they just want to do the bad stuff. But what I wished for President Trump to understand is again that not just the Mexicans are bad people. Responsible for all the bad things that happened. The murders, the crime lords, the drug lords, all of that crap. We, as a nation, have seen other races do it. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if we're going to get into that because I don't want to. I'm not sure if what I'll say next will get me in trouble or not, which I want to doubt it will. The specific words, that we gotta be careful about. But regardless, the other races in this world, not every single one of them is a bad person, unless they have proof, or that they were willingly wanting to do it. And if he was to ever implement a system at the borders, to ever implement a system to check for illegal stuff, bad stuff, or another case, well, bad stuff, guns, guns, drugs, bad stuff, have a system to check that. If they have that, they can't go in. Simple as that. Now, they don't have that, and they have no records of bad stuff, even though they could be hiding it. And of course, no IDs, which is totally fair, unless they have a very important ID that's gonna allow them to come to the US. Targeting a race would not solve that problem. Even though it slows it down, it will not stop a person to choose what they will or will not do. That's what our president has to understand. He may already do, and he just doesn't want to accept that, to learn the nation about that, because he might be scared. He might be too caring about his power to just hide away the feelings that we all should feel right now about this. Even the people support this, it's fair, but as a nation, as a world, this is unacceptable for this part. Only because he's targeting a race, one single race, for most of the bad things involving what he just said. Regardless, we need to understand that our president, if he ever is to continue this, bad stuff will happen on the other countries, no matter what. And we may already know that. Some people may want it. Some people may not want it. I for sure don't want it. You know why? Because another thing is friends. For example, if you had a Mexican friend that you have met years ago, you've connected with him or her, whatever, and along the way, became friends, best friends, and then they get deported. Without any proof of bad things, even though they're illegal immigrants, and of course, you know, having no ID and not being an American born citizen, how sad would it be for you to lose a friend over their race? That's another key thing about this too. Friends you have met of every race, one by one, they're gone, deported, passed away, or whatever, by so and so, by so and so, and so and so. They're not just a race. The Mexican people are not just a race that should be just condemned to the ground for this bad stuff. they are people. And in my opinion, the way I see our nation for America, all races, no matter the case, unless of course, by circumstances, by, illegal immigrants, or whatever, for whatever reason. Well, no, no, no. I'm gonna go trace back and restate the statement, but something else. All races, in my opinion, that ever live in America, or rather in general, in all countries, shall live coexistingly as equals. Not that, hey, you're Mexican, you do bad stuff, get out of here. Not, hey, you other race, get out of here, you do bad stuff. It's not that way. We are humans. We should understand the mistakes we make. And if we continue to make mistakes of doing this, deporting children that are innocent, unless they're presumed not innocent, just taking away people out of our lives, just for the sake of a race, is unacceptable, in my opinion. People can disagree with me, I understand. But this has to be adjusted, in my opinion, as quick as possible. Because if this continues and continues to rise and rise, there will be bad stuff happening. And it could cause us to go against each other. And I would not want that. I would want us, for as a nation, to understand the mistakes that we see, stand up for what we truly need to do to fix this, only for this issue, to test, to have a system on the borders, to see whether or not they're bad stuff, to see whether or not they're innocent, or whatever, to do to get in America. So that way we're not prohibiting people from every race, or even our own, to come to America for visits. Unless for a good reason. That's what I want our nation to do. Not just as opposite sides of the politician stuff, but as a nation together. To understand what's at stake, what could happen, and to rethink, revise, and reimagine a world to where this specific thing should not be continued, unless for good reason. But overall, I just really want our world to be a better place across the world, no matter what. Because of me, if I was president, I would not do this. In fact, I would do what I just told you. The police isn't at the borders. Check the bad stuff. Get them out of the way. Then I welcome. Unless, for good reason. Have proof that they're not innocent. Or whatever. But to rather understand and to help people understand and remind them that all people are equal, no matter what, and that people have a choice in everything we do. It may not seem like it, but we do. And I hope, as a people, for all of us that are seeing this, and for those of us that just watch this happen, I hope that as a nation, we stand up to this and make amends to make things right, so that our nation can still be a good place to go to, and not a hell to our friends of any race. Whether or not they've just been there over years, just don't get to, well, whether or not they're American born citizen or not, if they come a visit, America should not be a place of a hell. To have friends of any race, whether or not they've been there for long, whether or not they were an illegal immigrant, they should not make America like this. A strict country targeting one race. They should be wary of all races, no matter what. So that way, they can understand that people have a choice. And whatever choice they choose, no matter the race, that's what determines their fate, their path, and all that follow. I do hope this video brings a voice to all that see it and hear it. And a voice to represent a hope for all the people that got deported, for all the people that got wrongfully convicted of a different race, or just all races in general, and just for everything bad happening right now in our nation. A voice to represent them, to understand the pain they went through just like us. For some, with some exceptions. And to help and remind the world that all people are equal no matter what. And no matter what race, no matter what color, no matter what they believe in, all people of all races, in my opinion, are equal. This is your man Dorman here once again. Until next time, I will see you later. Maybe this upcoming Sunday for more games. Stay safe, my friends, and let us prepare for what America's future will bring. Peace.